Hello, 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 everyone. How are you? Hope you're having a fantastic, fantastic day. And may peace be upon you. But just give me a second. I'm just going to add my friend Annabelle, who I'm going to do the live with today. There we go. Right, if you're catching me live on this video, type in one. If you're catching me on the replay, type in two. If you're new to me, type in three so that I can reach out and say hello. So today we are going to be talking about the three key things to become a powerful leader. The three key things to become a powerful leader in your business with amazing Annabelle Beckwith. Amazing leadership coach, and she's been in the business for like 20 years, training people from all around the world. Oh my God!
Ah, I lost.
Hello, hello, hello! Oh my God, this is like the third time
I
that
know.
Annabelle
It's
and I've been
fraught
kind of
with
like doing
technical
back and
difficulties.
forth. Exactly, tacky stuff. It's literally like a click of a button. So Annabelle changed from her computer to her phone, now to on her iPad.
Now to my
So
iPads, and here we are at last. Yeah.
at last, at last.
Yeah. Sorry
So
about that.
here we are. That's okay. I'm so glad to have you. How are you this? Well, it's morning for me, but it's evening for you in Scotland, right?
It is. It is. It's just coming up 6 o'clock. So good day's work is done. Um,
Ah,
yeah.
fantastic. You're chilling out with your cup of tea then.
Yes, I have a very large cup of tea. It's Sports Direct. This company, the sports company, give away these massive mugs, but I drink a lot of tea, so I just take one of
Absolutely,
those, and
yeah.
it just saves me keeping going back to the kettle to get more and more. So that's me.
Absolutely. So thank you for watching. Everybody, if you're catching me live, type in one. If you catch me in a replay, type in two. If you're new to me, type in three. And so that we can reach out and say hello. So I've got amazing Annabelle today, and she is an amazing, amazing leadership coach. She's been in the business for like 20 years, training leaders from all around the world. She was in the Twin Tower in Petronas in Malaysia. She was everywhere. So Annabelle, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and a little bit about what you do?
Oh, okay. So I've been working, as you say, just with business leaders and entrepreneurs for about 20 odd years, but it didn't start out that way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I worked in marketing. I was the head of marketing at a music and drama academy, and I worked in
Mm.
PR and business development for a number of years. And then it was actually following the music and drama academy, a friend and I decided to set up a business using drama in a
Right.
training environment, in a business training
Mm-hmm.
environment. So we then went our separate ways and so on. But I found myself delivering a lot of training courses that other people had written,
Mm-hmm.
and then thought, right, I can do this. So I started writing training programs, and
Mm. Mm-hmm.
I think it's almost like evolved. Obviously, it didn't happen at
Yeah,
day one, because
of
in day
course.
one you start working with owners of smaller businesses
Mm-hmm.
and leaders who are maybe first line leaders in a large
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
organization, and then
Right.
gradually as time goes on you become more experienced. I was asked to work with leaders at a more and more senior level, so that more recently I've been working with people who are the global head of real estate
Mm.
for a major bank, or the Russian country manager for a manufacturing company, and this sort of thing, and entrepreneurs of larger organizations, of larger businesses that are scaling from 6 to 7 figures, and
Mm-hmm.
more usually from 7 to 8 figures, and
Fantastic.
beyond. So, but one of the key things is people are people. There are
Mm-hmm.
principles, and this is the thing. Having done this for 20 years, there are
Right.
principles that are pretty universal. Actually, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter whether it's an
Yeah.
entrepreneur just starting to build their team, or it's quite a senior leader in a global organization. In terms
Mm-hmm.
of the principles of strong leadership and being able to
Exactly.
deliver your results through other people, there's some universal things going on there. So it's useful
Yeah.
to know what those are.
Totally, because we are dealing in the business of people, whether we like it or not. We
Absolutely.
are dealing in the business of
Absolutely.
people.
Yeah.
For those who are not dealing with humans, then that's another story, right? But because we're dealing with humans and people, the principles, whether they're in Malaysia or in the UK or in the States or wherever in the world, the
Mm.
principles of business, I think it's universal. That's what I feel, having worked with a number of many entrepreneurs around the world too. So Annabelle,
Absolutely.
tell us, why is it so important for us to at least become a leader, or at least train ourselves to become leaders? I mean, we can just like chill out and just like be whoever, but why is it so important for us to become
Mm.
leaders, not just in business, like you said, but in like other areas of life too? So what's so important about that,
Yeah.
Annabelle?
Oh, well, I think if we think about it, first of all, on a very general scale, when we talk about leadership, obviously our minds jump to business and so on, but
Yeah,
sometimes leadership is
absolutely.
about personal leadership, and it's just about taking control and responsibility of your own life, basically. In a business context, it's really important, because if we are trying to achieve something, we cannot just leave it to chance. And we have
Exactly.
to now, it's not like, do you know, when you're working on your own, when you're a solopreneur, you think, oh, I must do whatever, and then we go and do it. Whereas now we think, oh, no, I want to do such and such, and we have to ask somebody else to go and do it. Or if we have a good team and they are proactive and they're contributing to our business, they will come to us and say, I would like to do this. And we have to go, oh, no,
Right.
that's interesting. I haven't thought of that. So we're leveraging their skills and talents as well. So it becomes about
Exactly.
delivering results through other people. And I agree with what you say. It is the people factor here. Yes, it's strategy and it's processes and
Absolutely.
all of those things as well are part of the equation, but it's absolutely about people and our ability to communicate with them, inspire them, motivate them, and bring them with us.
Absolutely. And I love what you said, is that like even if a solopreneur, you still will want to create yourself to be a leader, because you're leading your clients or your
Exactly.
customers,
Exactly
or
that.
who so whoever that is like in contact with you, because we're in the people and we're in the business of people. So it's not kind of like, oh, only if I have 10 employees, then I need to step up to become a
No.
leader. No, I don't think it's that. It's like, start from today with you like being a leader to yourself, for God's sake. Like, I just need to do some work, for example, like being a leader. And absolutely, I totally love it when you say that being a leader is about being inspiring, being empowering people, helping people, lifting them up, because otherwise it's like a dictatorship. We might as well become like a
Oh yeah.
dictator kind of thing,
Well,
right, Annabelle?
exactly that.
Mm,
Yeah, absolutely.
mm,
But also to your point about, you've got to be able to lead yourself. If you can't lead
mm,
yourself, then you're not going to be able to lead other people. And that's the thing. It's
mm,
like, if you're not, if I'm totally disorganized, and I am naturally quite disorganized, but if
mm,
I don't kind of
mm,
manage myself and
mm.
prioritize my time and be
Yeah,
disciplined about, right, these are the tasks that I've got to accomplish,
yeah.
and this is what I'm going to deliver to my clients. And as I start to build my team, what will happen is, it doesn't matter what I say to them, they will copy what I do. I
Yeah.
am tacitly role modeling everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you're quite right. You have to be able to lead and manage yourself in order to then step up
Mm-hmm.
to leading other people. And again, to your point, it's really, it is so important
Mm.
to not be a dictator. And actually, I'll give you a couple of examples
Yeah,
actually here of
yeah.
two ends of the scale. So there was one person, I wasn't working with this individual, because very,
Yeah.
very quickly in the opening conversations, I thought, no, this is not
Gotcha.
a leader I want to work with.
Mm.
But here was somebody, when I was saying, so, how do you encourage ideas from your team, and,
Mm-hmm.
delegate to them, and all of these types of things, and
Mm-hmm.
encourage them to be
Mm-hmm.
proactive. And his response was very much like, I don't want them to think. I want them to just do.
Right.
And seriously, he said this to me, and
Right.
my jaw
Right.
fell to the floor. He
Mm-hmm.
said, I don't want people to think. I want them to just do
Mm-hmm.
what I asked them to do, because that's what I'm paying them for. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my goodness. Anybody who, talented people won't put up with that. They will leave.
Mm-hmm.
So the
Yeah.
people that
Yeah.
man is going to be left with are the ones who will just follow instructions. And then one day he will turn
Exactly.
round and he will say, nobody ever uses their own initiative here. Nobody thinks for themselves. Yeah, go
Mm.
figure, because you have trained them to just follow your instructions and
Exactly.
nothing else,
To be
which is
robots. Yeah.
exactly, which is exhausting. Now, at the other end of the
Mm-hmm.
scale, a couple of years ago, was again, I didn't work with this. You have, these are conversations where I think, no,
Exactly. You kind of
not
like,
ideal client.
yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it was actually a family-run business, and it was second generation. So
Mm,
that has its own
right.
challenges in that the people who are now in
Absolutely.
leadership aren't there
Hmm.
because they're great. They're there because they're the sons of the man who set the business up. You know, that kind of
Gotcha. It's
situation.
inherited. Yeah. It's
Exactly
by
that.
default. Hmm.
And opposite of being a dictator, they were very much, no, well, we want people to do their own thing and so on. But it was going too far the other way, and there was no leadership. There was a
Yeah.
vacuum. And so what was happening is that capable people low down the
Hmm.
organization were stepping up and
Hmm.
taking that role, and then they didn't like it. There was, oh, hang on,
Hmm.
you're overstepping the mark. But it's like,
Yeah.
if you're not leading, somebody is, somebody will,
Exactly.
because you can't just have a vacuum at the top. So it's really important to get it right and tread that middle ground and find that balance between allowing people the
Beautiful.
autonomy to do their own thing, but still the
Hmm.
guidance and the parameters
Hmm.
of it. This is where we're going.
Yeah, I love it. I think like in the conversation, you've basically summarized like three key things to become a powerful leader. Because one, you mentioned that you've got, as a leader, you've got to empower people,
Yes,
inspire people, move people to you so that you and your organization can get the results that you want. So I think that's absolutely key, to be empowering versus dictatorship that we've discussed.
absolutely.
And then the second thing that I love what you're saying is that kind of have that little bit of instinct, kind of like, okay, is this my, because when you had your conversation with people, you kind of had an idea. Some
Hmm.
like, because you don't want to work with anybody because they're gonna kill you. Like, you gotta trust your instinct a little bit, because like
That's
when
very,
you
very
were
true.
sharing, kind of like, okay, I've had a conversation with this person and some of the things he said, I'm like, no. So you've
Mm.
got to trust your instinct as a powerful
You have.
leader to kind of, and say, I guess, be courageous and say it's okay, but we're not a good fit. Don't you think so, Annabelle?
Yeah, yes, I would. And
Mm,
I think there is that, it's almost like it's fashionable to say, well, go with your gut.
mm,
And you think, well, yeah, you're going with your
mm.
gut, but you're also analysing that as well. Because
Exactly.
sometimes if we're going with our gut, we're responding to emotion, and that's not necessarily the most
Hmm.
useful
Hmm.
thing to be guiding our decisions. But it is
Yeah.
definitely just being prepared to be flexible and thinking, okay, well, on paper, and before I met this particular potential
Right.
client, I
Right.
thought, okay, looks okay. And when you talk to people and you ask the questions, and this is where in
Hmm.
any leadership situation, communication skills are paramount. You're asking the questions and
Absolutely.
really, really listening to the
Mhm.
responses, and not
Exactly.
just listening to what they say, but watching their body language and how they work together and all of those
Mm.
things.
Hmm.
Then I think you're absolutely right. You have to be prepared to go, do you know what? No, no. Um,
Yeah.
and make a
It's the
clear
puzzle
decision one
pieces,
way or
isn't it,
the other.
Annabelle? Yeah,
Hmm,
absolutely. And
exactly
make
that,
your
yeah.
decision based on the puzzle pieces. Like you said, on paper, absolute perfect, spot on. But till you figure out the other pieces, like you say, watching the body language, how they tone, they think, their their essence, all those kind of things. You kind
Hmm,
of like figure things out. And I think for entrepreneurs, even for me and myself, like, to be courageous to say, like, it's okay, but we're not a good fit, and then trusting the abundance
yeah,
of, okay, there's going to be other people for me. And I think the
exactly.
third point that you touched really well, that I think you hit it nail on, Annabelle, is kind of creating a balance. Because as a leader, you don't want to go too extreme on one
No,
end, but too lenient on the other, because you're going to be off, or you're going to be losing on both ends, right? Like, either
exactly
you're
that.
too extreme or
Yeah,
you're too lenient. You're too, both are not going to get results. So yeah,
exactly.
so creating a balance. So can you elaborate a little bit more on that? Because this is one of the, it's not an easy thing, right? Because you're not, how do you know how to create a balance, which way to go, kind of thing. So why don't, would you be okay to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, finding a balance.
Mm,
I think in many respects, one of the balances to be struck is between
mm,
the practical side and the people side. So that might be a balance between the
mm,
processes, and you need your processes. And it's tempting to think, oh, good,
right.
I've got a set it and forget it process and so on. But to think, actually, the
Yeah.
balancing side of that is I need people to actually follow this process. So what's the people side of explaining the process, making sure they understand why the
Mm-hmm,
process is there, how
mm-hmm,
to improve it,
mm-hmm,
the importance of it, all of these things. So that's one of the balances, is that balance
mm-hmm.
between the technical operational side of your business, the things that are
Right.
being done, and that people aspect. Um, And I think there is, as you say, there's most definitely a balance between um, a balance between do you know what? It's a balance between leading and pushing. Are you
Yeah,
leading? Are you role
exactly.
modeling, and people are following you because they think, oh right, yes, I
Mm-hmm,
understand,
mm-hmm,
I get it, I'm bought into it, we share values. Are you leading them, or are you in a position
mm-hmm.
where, and watch out for this, because you can, it's difficult to articulate, but you can feel the difference where you think, well, I'm not
Yeah,
leading, I'm pushing. I have to constantly
right,
be saying to people, have you done that? I'm micromanaging.
right.
We need to do this. Has that bit deadline been met? If you are pushing, that's not leadership. That's not leadership.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of,
Yeah.
sometimes you need to push and challenge people a little bit,
Yeah,
but if
you
that is
do.
becoming your
You do, yeah.
habit, yeah,
Exactly.
then something's
If
not,
that's just
something's not quite right. And there's also, I think,
mm-hmm,
one of the big balances in terms of
mm-hmm,
communication is the balance
mm,
between speaking and listening, between telling and
yeah,
asking, because
mm,
it's tempting, especially if we're working on our own. We're calling all the shots, we're making all of the decisions, and
exactly.
it's
Yeah.
tempting just to think, oh, that will continue. Yes,
Mm-hmm,
you are the key decision maker, but other people are going
mm-hmm,
to be part of that conversation. So your ability to
mm-hmm,
ask really, really incisive and valuable questions and genuinely listen
mm,
to the response is
yeah.
also hugely important as a leader. And if I'm brutally honest,
Mm-hmm,
certainly from my experience in the corporate sector, many leaders don't
mm-hmm,
do that. They will focus, when we think about
mm,
communication, people will think about being an
mm,
inspiring speak. It's all about the telling people
yeah,
and winning them over. Anything. It is
yeah.
absolutely about listening and asking the
Mm.
right questions and understanding as well. So there's again, that's just being aware of that balance.
Amazing. Amazing. So if any of you resonate what Annabelle is sharing, click on the hearts and the like button. Click on the hearts and the likes button. Because I like listening, like generous listening is like key in any areas of life. With me
Yep.
being a mom, with me being a wife, with me being a daughter, with me going on sales call, with me dealing, helping my clients. Is people think you just have to talk, talk, and talk and talk. That it just literally isn't,
Yeah.
Annabelle. Like the more generous listening that you have, it does take practice, but the more you practice that, the things people are just gonna become like at ease with you and feel
Hmm.
connected with you
Yeah.
and listen to you and actually move towards the goal. So that's what I found is one of the keys. So Annabelle, to wrap up, what would be the one thing that you can give to everybody that's watching today, everybody that's going to watch tomorrow, and for millions and millions of years to come? What would be the one thing that you would say to them today?
Oh my goodness. One, just one, just one.
Sure, be a rebel and do two then.
All right, okay. Well, no, I will stick to one, because there's many things you
Hmm,
can say about
absolutely.
leadership. But
Mm,
for me, the starting point in all of my work with leaders is
mm,
clarity.
mm.
Clarity. If
Amazing.
you don't have clarity about your own
Mm-hmm,
life aspirations,
mm-hmm,
never mind your business, your own life aspirations, then you
mm-hmm,
might find yourself building a business that actually becomes the monster that eats you. It's not something that
mm,
sustains you. If you
mm-hmm,
don't have clarity in your business about your strategy,
mm-hmm.
where your goals, your vision, your values, you won't be
Yeah.
able to communicate that to your team. So for me, having a sense of clarity is the
Mm-hmm,
starting point for everything.
mm-hmm.
Then you can start to look at your goals and strategy and where you're going and your sales and your
Absolutely.
marketing. Clarity has to come first. So
Beautiful.
that's the key point, I think. If there was one thing, it'd be that
Fantastic.
as the starting point.
Exactly. I totally on board with you because clarity leads to power. It
Yeah.
just gives you the sense of
Yeah.
power and momentum and moving towards. And like it always starts from like a personal aspiration, isn't it? And then you transfer it to the business side.
Exactly that.
Like for
Exactly.
me, my personal aspiration will always be to give my family the best possible future. And translating that to the business world is this, like, like you said, the strategy, the marketing plan,
Mm-hmm.
everything
Yep.
else that comes in between. So
Yeah.
fantastic, Annabelle. I know it's pretty late over there. So tell people how they can get in touch with you if they say, they want a consultation about being a successful and powerful leader. So how can they get in touch with you, Annabelle?
Two things is to
Mm-hmm.
connect on Facebook. and just drop me a message. Or the second thing, because I'm in the process of setting up a membership site and so on. So Facebook, LinkedIn, Annabelle Beckwith on LinkedIn. So do connect with me there. Those are the two best places at the moment.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Annabelle. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Thank
And
you.
Annabelle, I'll catch up with you soon.
Absolutely.
And have a fantastic day. May peace be upon you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.